everybody, and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and hot on the heels of the news of the matchmaking changes and the tests that are coming in daily, Dead by Daylight released a blog, a developer update about some stuff that's coming in the mid-chapter here. Presumably, we'll be able to test this in the PTB next week. I haven't read through this at all, so let's read through it together. This very good boy brought you the news. What are you going to do? Not read it and break his heart? Developer update. When you click the link, it takes you to the official Dead by Daylight forums for the March developer update. Let's read through this together. It's everybody's favorite time of month, reading time. We're back with another developer update, a series of posts where we go into detail on changes coming to Dead by Daylight. And this time around, we've got a mix of balance changes and quality of life improvements. Without further ado, let's get the show on the road. Patching Optimization Part 2. At the start of the year, we announced our plan to improve patch times, coming in two parts. The first, smaller change, launched on Steam in January, compressing the game files and improving the patch times. We're about to launch the second part of these changes, which will have a much larger impact than the first and affect all platforms. How does it work? Oh, okay, so that only affected PC, because I was going to say, PC patch times have been incredibly faster. To put it simply, the game is broken into small chunks, and when something in one of those chunks changes, the whole chunk must be updated. And as the game has grown over the years, so have these chunks, causing downloads to get bigger and patch times to get longer. And starting in this mid-chapter, we've completely restructured and rebalanced these chunks. In this way, you won't have to download or patch nearly as much unnecessary data when the game updates, making patch speeds up to 200% faster. I kind of wish you would have put moderately or tremendously faster. No, just joking. Please note that since we're changing the file structure of the game, you will need to completely read down the game with the 5.70 update. That's for the 6th anniversary chapter, 5.7.0. Afterwards, all future updates will be significantly faster than before. Opting in or out of this, oh, maybe I'm wrong about that. No, it would be 6.0. That's right, it would be 6.0 for the 6th anniversary chapter. Mid-chapter is going to be 5.7. My mistake. Afterwards, all future updates will be significantly faster than before. Opting in or out of the 5.70 public test build will also cause a large download. Okay, so this is going to be one of those times that I'm going to take advantage of being on Epic, and I'll use Steam to opt in to the PTB, and then I'll play live on Epic. I don't have to go back and forth between this large download. Ghostface update. All right, here we go. Starting things off, we have a few changes in store for Ghostface. First, we are increasing the duration of Ghostface's mark to 60 seconds, up from 45 seconds. This change gives him a longer window to follow up and get a hit after successfully stalking a survivor, and makes outlasting the exposed effect harder for survivors. Second, marked survivors are no longer able to reveal Ghostface, while other survivors will still be able to reveal him. Running off on your own now becomes riskier, as you have no choice but to evade him while he's undetectable, unless you manage to get a lucky stun. Lastly, we noticed that many of Ghostface add-ons have gone largely unused, with a few exceptions standing out well above the rest. We always want to see a wider variety of add-ons being used, so we've done a pass on the majority of Ghostface add-ons to bring them up to a similar power level. Here's a few examples of what you can expect. So it's not just these. There's going to be a lot of changes. The drop leg knife sheath. The Ghostface gains 10% movement speed for 5 seconds after marking a survivor. Holy. And Olsen's wallet. Breaking a pallet or wall immediately recharges Night Shroud. Oh. Wow. Okay. Legion is also getting an update. This is basically what they promised us like 2 Q&As ago, that Ghostface and Legion were the next killers they were going to work on. Maybe 3 Q&As ago. It's been a while, but we knew that this stuff was in the works. The Legion update. All these years later, the Legion remain one of the more frequently used killers, and it's easy to see why. Sometimes you just want to go fast with a knife. And that's why these changes focus on making the Legion faster and knifeier than ever before. Oh my. In all seriousness, the first of our changes is centered around chaining together hits. Being able to string together multiple hits on different survivors is something that is core to the Legion's design, so to help them do that, we're giving them a stacking 2 meters per second speed boost for each survivor they hit during Feral Frenzy. This will make it easier to close the gap as you switch targets. Additionally, a 5th hit will end your frenzy and put any survivor into the dying state, adding a satisfying payoff for chaining together hits. That's actually pretty cool. Now, we've lowered the post-Feral Frenzy fatigue duration to 3 seconds, down from 4 seconds. And the fatigue is a crucial part of the Legion's power, preventing them from canceling their frenzy and immediately following up with a basic attack, circumventing the non-lethal aspect of their power. We found that lowering the duration to 3 seconds felt much better to play with, but also kept it feeling fair from a survivor's point of view. And to ensure that the fatigue doesn't get out of hand, we've reworked any fatigue altering add-ons, since the strongest 2 add-ons were added to the base kit. We've also changed Feral Frenzy's recharge to start as soon as it ends, rather than after the fatigue, effectively reducing the power's cooldown. And last, add-ons. We've reviewed each of the Legion's add-ons. Some will receive a number of tweaks, while others will get entirely new effects. We want to shine a spotlight on the various mixtape add-ons in particular. True to their name, these add-ons will also augment the Legion's new music, and can even be mixed and matched to produce interesting results. What? Can we play this? Is this playable? Okay, so here we're starting with no add-ons. And then that's double mixtape. That is wild. That's crazy. Very cool. Okay, next we're getting a Hemorrhage Rework. Hemorrhage has long been one of the lesser desired status effects for killers, at least. Currently, Hemorrhage increases the frequency of blood pools, making it easier to track survivors. This effect ends up not being very useful in most cases, as the survivor will either be leaving scratch marks while sprinting, or the blood pools will already be close together if they're walking. And with that in mind, we've come up with a new version of Hemorrhage. Whenever you are not healing, Hemorrhage will cause your healing progress to regress at the rate of 7% per second. This new version rewards the killer for interrupting a survivor healing and has the potential to waste medkit charges. Wow. Self-care gamers, back at it, let's go. Oh my gosh. This change will affect all perks and add-ons that currently apply it. Oh boy. Okay. Updated difficulty ratings. In the info tab for each killer and survivor, you'll find a difficulty rating that tells you how easy or hard they are to play. These ratings are intended to help newer players decide which killer to play first and which they should consider holding for when they're more comfortable with the game. To make these ratings more useful, we've created new guidelines as for how we rank them. We reviewed each killer and given them a score 1 to 5, 1 being the easiest, in the following categories. Mechanical skill, how much precise control is required to use the killer effectively for aiming, reaction time, and control. Strategic skill, how much planning and strategy is required to use the killer effectively, timing, resource management, and decision making. And uniqueness, how similar is this killer to other killers. The scores are totaled up to determine the overall difficulty of the killer. The nurse, for example, requires a lot of mechanical skill, very true, a good bit of strategy, and plays completely different than the other killers, landing her safely in that new very hard difficulty. Agree. To avoid confusion, we've removed difficulty ratings from survivors. This is because all survivors are functionally identical, with only perks setting them apart. Since perks can be shared across survivors and aren't factored into difficulty for killers, we've made the decision to remove them entirely. Okay, I agree with that. Survivors are basically just skins, so. Okay, here we go. The Haddonfield update. We're going to get to test this. Look at that. It's become a tradition for each dev update to be followed by Haddonfield rework when? Well, this tradition is coming to an end because we've saved the best for last. And yes, that was a perk pun. The iconic Lampkin Lane appeared in the Entity's realm over 5 years ago, but with all the visual improvements around the rest of the game, that familiar street is starting to show its age. Not for long though, Haddonfield is next in line to get a visual update. And for those wondering, don't worry, the map is getting some layout and gameplay changes too. Take a look. Now these are the photos that we saw on the website. So this isn't anything different here so far. Yeah, these are all the same things that we saw on that updated website, but that doesn't mean that it isn't interesting. I'm really looking forward to these changes, and hopefully we're going to get to test this on the PTB. With that, we've reached the end of this month's developer update. All of the changes mentioned here will be available in the 5.7.0 update. That's going to be the mid-chapter patch. Which change you're most looking forward to? We look forward to hearing what you think, the Dead by Daylight team. So we're going to be able to test this in the PTB. I don't think the PTB is going to be tomorrow. Surely they would have said here in this update if the PTB was tomorrow, right? So it might be a week from tomorrow. The first Tuesday in April. Whenever it is, I'll be streaming it so we can check out these changes. Wow, I'm very interested to see Ghostface. I think that's going to make him a lot scarier, where the Mark survivors can't knock him out. I'm a little concerned with the chaining of hits. Like, I love chaining hits as Legion, don't get me wrong, but I find that, like, if people just go around and chain hits over and over again, it can lead to a really long game time. I think Legion generally has one of the longer game times as it is. So we'll see how this works. I'm not sure, but I look forward to testing it all out, and I can't wait to see that Haddonfield update. Hopefully Haddonfield will be heavily weighted when the PTB comes out, so we can do a lot of testing on it. If not, I've been loading up on offerings to play so we can get out there and check out the new Haddonfield. All right, but that's all I have for you today. Thank you so very much for watching. I always appreciate the time that you spend here with me every time I make a video, so thank you for that. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.